Yes, it went well.
Okay, let's see how many of you are happy today. First, let's confirm that you have completed your test. I know some of you started a little late. Those who started still going on, please keep your volume less for yourself so you won't get disturbed. Rest of you completed. So let's have a conversation. Once again, thanks a lot for taking this test because it needs some energy and effort to do this. Let's see if you are available on the cam. It'll be nice to see each other. The two post-exam, we all look pretty smart. Okay. I wish Bob is available. I wish that's a fantastic smile at your face. It means you did a good exam.
Yeah, it is good. Actually, I started preparation well for last maybe 10 days.
Okay.
And it was good today. I got 78%. It's
Okay.
good. Compared to last
Okay.
one and all.
That's good to know.
So I'm
So
planning to write it examination
mhm.
on next month. So
That's interesting. When you say 78%, you feel that your answering ability has been improved?
yeah, it is improved a lot, and elimination technique is working well most of the
Okay.
cases.
Okay. Okay. Are you
And
trying elimination technique sometime in your family?
most of the time now trying that.
When they ask you
Because
to buy something, go
it
something,
is
do something,
it is not,
eliminate.
that good
Yeah.
technique. Not only in our private life, also we can apply.
Apply, right? Little careful. They should not use eliminate us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good, Ravi. That's a positive start. I could see a few more people here. Hey, thanks all people in the camp. I appreciate to see you. I do get a feel that how you are good with your examination. So I have Pratik, Geeta, Pallavi, Soumya, Vinod also in the camp. Thanks a lot for the people here. And the rest of the people who took the exam also, thanks a lot here. Any other person have a good experience today? Just want to listen to you.
Not good, but the bad experience because I have made a wrong choice. I choose the full mock and didn't notice that 4 hours needed. So I stopped in between. I completed somewhere around 70 questions, but then I abort it because I would like to attend this session as well. Okay, maybe
That's fine.
tomorrow I'll again try.
Yeah. So when you sit for full exam, be a little prepared on your food and your timeline because it's a 4 hours, just like
Yeah,
they're
four
doing.
hours. Yeah, four
You have
hours.
to be prepared. You have to inform your family also not to expect you to be on any help and support. In fact, I sometimes say that if your main exam is somehow you're planning by 8 a.m., same 8 a.m. you can take your practice exams. This is how I did for my preparation. I had my exam on 8 a.m. So every practice exam I'll do 8 a.m. So my biological clock also sets accordingly. So I'll have my breakfast by 7 and then settle down by 7:45. I make my room ready enough, mobile away from different floor. And again, I will read last 20 minutes. I'll read the key factors which I have to keep in my mind for the examination. So I'll make my every practice exam as a real exam, so that it doesn't look like a practice. I did every exam as a real exam. I failed at least once or twice at the beginning, and the rest of the 3 exams I scored really well. But that mindset is very important because it's a 4 hours exam. It is like a 5-day cricket match. You cannot just go and play and come out. You have to have the stamina to be there, water bottle and things. And every 60 questions, you have to take a break, go for your washroom or eat something and come back. Those all things you have to do. Good, Vinod. Good you came back here. I appreciate it.
Sorry to interrupt, Sriram. Actually, the same thing happened to me during my first mock. I couldn't able to manage the timing because I'm used to do this 40 questions, 60 minutes. But there, the minutes are in 3 digit, which I was confused. I don't know the time when I complete the 40 questions or 60 questions, how much time I took and how much time is remaining. I was a bit confused in that. Still, I'm using my mobile timing for 1 hour. I need to at 1.5 hours. I need to complete 60 questions. That's what the instruction given in the mark, ShriLearning mark. So the second 60 question I need to do it in 1 hour, and the rest of this is the question is with the rest of the time. So still I'm in that kind of confusion.
Okay, make it a little clear. On a screen, you will see 200 and how many minutes you see in the screen?
250, or I don't remember.
250. So first, let's be very clear. 250 minutes given on the screen. Your real exam is 230. So 230 plus 20 minutes given for your break time. Right? That's order 250 on the screen. So now what you do is you take your first 60 questions. Don't worry about the time. Initially, take 60 questions. Approximately 90 minutes, you will do the first 60 questions. It's a range I have observed people, 90 minutes. Exactly after 60th question, you yourself lock your computer, go for a break, 10 minutes. That time you see your watch, 10 minutes break. Take a break, come back. Do next 60 questions. Take another 10 minutes break. Next 60 questions. I recommend people 90, 70, 70. This is a timeline I found people are using commonly. First 60 questions, a little panic, little tense. So it will consume 90 minutes. And then 70, 70 is a decent time. So 90, 70, and 70 becomes 230. In ShriLearning, you have 230 plus 20 minutes break included. Right? The screen won't pause there, but you can yourself, after 60 questions, leave the screen as it is, go for the break and come back. Clear?
Yeah, in main mark, how it seems, Sriram, actually.
So I say the same concept, 230 minutes given on the screen, but exactly on the 60th questions, it'll give a pause. In main
Even
exam.
though we finish earlier also, if, for example, if we complete the 60 questions in 60 minutes or 70 minutes, we can use that 20 minutes in the next set of 60 questions.
So whatever time you complete your first 60 question, it will pop up a window. Would you like to go for a break? If you click the button yes, then it will give you a break. If you say no, it will go to 61st question.
Okay, but the timing what we utilized in the first 60 question, you said, for example, 90 minutes we have to complete the first 60 question. If I complete in 60 minutes, the rest of the 30 minutes, we can use it in the second set of 60 question?
Yes, that is. Because it is a professional exam, they don't want to force you. This is the time you have to use. They give all the time for you. Time management is your own skills. So they leave it to you. There are people who did the whole exam in 2 hours, 10 minutes. Whole exam. Which means their first 60 questions they would have done in 25 minutes.
Okay.
Could be, right? Super fast. They went super fast, done 25 minutes. Still, you can go for a break or don't want to go for the break, you can do that. Those are some exceptional cases. To update you again, Geeta, or everyone here, main exams, they don't enforce any timeline. They just leave it to you. They give the 230 minutes to you. It's up to you. You can take a whole 230 minutes for the first one segment itself. Or first segment you do in 60 minutes and you can go for the break, come back. So they give the whole time management to you because you are a professional. You should know about your time management. Then they leave it to you.
But the thing is, we cannot go back to the 60 questions once we logged.
Yes, you cannot.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, good. Let's start some conversation on the questions. So I should have some people going for the main exams in the month of April. Some are in the month of May also. So if you have questions, please put your hands up. So I know that you have questions, we'll have a conversation. For the month of May, I'm expecting few people for the main exams, including the previous February batch. And I have some people from April batch. Both the batch are here. So what will happen is next 2 weeks, it will turn more aggressive. When I say aggressive, your reading will happen, parallelly question and analysis will happen. Both you should do. So recommendation is plan your work accordingly. I know many of you tied up with your work. I keep hearing the comment with my work I couldn't do. I know this, but this is once for in your life, after which you're not going to do this course again. So please plan accordingly on some days where you can take 2-3 hours break from your regular job and you can read something. If you cannot organize your time, it's going to be really crazy. The subject is heavy. You have to read a lot. You would have read something for last 2 days and third day when you open the book, you won't remember what you read. Because since the subject is pretty vast, you'll easily lose it. So have a habit of reading, writing as well. Just note on the hints in the paper that will make you to recall. All right, so I'll start with Pratik. He puts hands up. People have questions, please put your hands up. And meantime, Pratik, you have a screen sharing option? Yes, you have it.
Yeah. So,
You could share it.
Shriram, yeah. So, related to main exam as well, I had some doubts and related to few questions as well. So, should I put the questions first and then something to main exam?
You will talk main exam. When is your main exam?
That is the main problem for me actually. I had earlier, we had a discussion on WhatsApp. So I had earlier 9th May as I fixed it. But since I was not able to find anything in April, but right now I can see something dates like 26th and 27th in April. So like I was waiting actually that if something comes up in April, I should take. So 9th May, I have not yet booked. But should I book 9th May? I have three options: 27th April, 2nd May, and 9th May. So, like, just wanted your suggestions. I have only done one mock.
Yeah. So, what is your full mark score came up?
77.
Okay, 70. So, time management?
It was good. 10 minutes to spare.
10 minutes to spare. Okay. All right. So, would I expect you to do another at least 2 more full exams? So, will you have time for it? Are you going to take break from your work?
1 day break is envisaged right now from the work.
Okay. So, what is the difference between May 9 and April 26? In between, you have any travel, office work?
I have travel between 5 to 7.
2 days you have. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a trip. So after the trip, I can do that 9th, or else I can do on 2nd of May as well.
I feel 2nd of May should be good because
second.
Yeah, 2nd of May.
Right.
Because you have one weekend, that is this weekend. You have one more weekend. So these 2 weekends, you can use it for another 3 or 2 full exams. Okay. And I should also give you some bullet points which you have to work last 3-4 days.
Okay.
Okay, let's give that time. Let us not rush for April. May 2 should be good. So you go on vacation very happily. Right? You should not carry the exam in vacation.
That is the reason I'm looking for 2nd May.
Okay. Are you cutting off some leave from your office? You're taking leave on May?
Actually, I'm taking leave on planning to take leave on the 1st. Saturday, Sunday is always an off. First, I will take a leave. Second, I can go for exam.
It's pretty decent. What I do is give me a WhatsApp message today, post this call. I will give some bullet points which you have to work on, primarily on the roles, responsibilities of manager. I'll tell you what it is. You'll read through that. Meantime, please take at least next 2 to 3 full exams.
And should I revisit the Rita once again?
Enough. Scores are good. You are in a good shape now. Let's only polish the area where you have to improve. That's sufficient.
Today also mock exam I just gave, I got it around 83. So
your range is good. But I never underestimate PMI Institute. Always we have to give the respect to them. So let's go in the right order and clear the examination. Okay. So it's a matter of 4-5 days. Let's not too much push there. Go for May 2, book it. It's a center-based or
center-based.
Okay. Book it for May 2nd and then let's make it happen.
Then good.
Which
I'll just share the screen.
Which city you are taking exam?
Mumbai.
Okay. Check out the centers because once I remember in Mumbai, there was a center which doesn't have good air conditioning and there was a woman who went for the exam in the summer. She suffered a lot. How to check out the center is you can visit the center a few days before. You can even go walk in and see how is it, what's happening.
Okay.
They even show the walkthrough of the place. Okay,
they can they give that walkthrough.
Walkthrough they'll give, but they will not allow inside the exam hall. But at least you get a feel of the place. Initially, what happened is this Pearson gave the rights to some of the colleges to conduct the exam, and this
the colleges only I'm going.
Okay, some of the colleges what they did is they didn't have the proper infrastructure. Without that, they got the rights, and then PMI cancelled a lot of centers. If not, there will be 1.5 years back. You will see many exam centers. Then they shut down many centers because of lack of facility.
Okay.
So I would recommend you to visit the place before even. Since you said Mumbai, I remember that women struggle.
Yeah. And in Mumbai as well, I am going to a college only. So it is better to visit. Thanks for that actually. The college is a government college actually. So I can relate to what you are telling right now then.
Okay, I don't use the word government is bad. It should be good also. But again, visit it once. You will also get a feel of what it is. They should give a walkthrough for you. Walkthrough means not the exam seat, but what they have facilities. They have to tell you. That's part of the explanation. They have.
So I'll visit tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow. Then I should book the date now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Visit it and book it. Visit and book it. If you want.
Fine. Done.
All right. Let's go to the questions. I see a black screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
questions,
actually this came from today's mock actually. So and the question goes like this: a project has been implemented. The R&D department communicates to the project manager that the product's requirement have changed. These changes were not anticipated, may significantly influence potential sales number and could impact the project scope. Which action should the project manager take? So the main point were C and D for me, as A and B were removed out. Why I selected C, revisit the project charter, because here the main terms like the project requirements have changed is the main one term. Then the one is like it significantly influences the potential sales number and could impact the project scope. So my understanding was like I should visit the project charter whether the purpose of this project remains the same, or I should cut down this project and like start the new project again. And this I mean evaluating the impacts and all can come secondly, and like using an perform integrated change control process, I need to evaluate. I will use the term evaluation and all. So I did not find that perform integrated change control I will use for a change request or something like that. And apart from that, revisiting a project charter for understanding whether the purpose and objectives are still in line with what we had decided earlier. So this was my thought.
Okay. Okay. So the wrong answer goes to charter.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is looking, the project is being implemented, which is in action.
Right.
The research and development department communicates to the project manager that the project's requirements have changed. These changes were not anticipated, may significantly influence the potential sales numbers and could impact the product scope. Which action should take? So this is common, or it happens in projects where when the work is 60% or 30% completed, some changes can come in. And when the changes are coming in, the department is intimating, hey guys, this is going to impact us badly. Not badly, saying that impact is happening. Now revisiting the charter. Okay, that's a good point. You can revisit the charter to check. Charter will give you an idea. The whole scope of the project is construction of a dam. But the dam construction process is happening. Meantime, they're giving a change. Along with the dam, you have to add some roads to nearby village through the dam structure area. I'm just putting an example, okay? So you are going to see the charter. Charter change can also happen, but it's not good advisable. I go with this point. But the question is, which action should the manager take? Visiting the charter, yes. Is it an action or it is just an information?
I feel it's an action as well. From a project manager, I'm revisiting a charter. One of the actions.
Revisiting. Okay, you revisit, you saw that. Okay, what is the right answer should be for this? Or what is the right answer mentioned?
Right answer is B.
Okay, now can you compare between these two? In these two, which will have some doable things? Are you seeing as evaluate the impact to cost, stakeholder, quality, and risk? Will it have more impact? Under which you can also take a look of charter, nothing stops you. Now, when you say revisit the project charter, yes, you're visiting it. By that, what you mean is, yes, I'm going to see what is there. If there is any, I'm going to raise a query, right? If there is a query, you're going to raise, hey guys, you mentioned dam construction, but now you're telling you want me to connect with a couple of villages nearby to the roads. I go with this. But when I say an action, as per PMI, as per PMP model of studies, you will definitely revisit the charter. You will definitely go through your project management plan, which we drafted earlier. The plan talks about 3 constraints. scope, schedule, and cost. We will see all these three. But what is the action you're going to do? Seeing this, fine, happy, you are viewing it. Okay. After viewing, what is the next stage? Now you have to evaluate the impact. So what could be evaluation of impact from your perspective?
How, whatever changes have come in, so how it is going to impact my project, whatever changes have come in.
Exactly. Now, when you evaluate, you're trying to understand, is this changes going to have touch on my 6 constraints, primarily 3 constraints, scope, schedule, cost. Now it is passing through a place called perform integrated change control. If you observe this in your integration management chapter, you'll see that it is controlled by a team called CCB, Change Control Board. And this team is going to give a clarity that, hey, the changes are interesting, but with the impact of the change, I don't think we will touch it right now. There, they may even refer the charter. What he's saying is right. C could be a subset. I may even refer the charter. As per charter, we should complete the dam construction. But you guys are bringing roads and factors connecting the villages. Happy, nice. But that's not part of the scope now. Maybe you can get the approval from the sponsors to update the charter. Then probably we'll touch this. To say this, there should be something actionable. I believe D is more actionable. Think so?
Okay.
Yeah. The word is more on action. It's not about whether you are getting information. It's an action. Action is work, do. Yep.
So first I will go and see the evaluation, and then I will go for the project charter. If the question says
when you evaluate, charter is part of that. Okay. What do you mean by evaluation? Evaluation means you're seeing that what we thought, are we doing that? But evaluation is action with your team members, not only you, right? Revisiting the project charter, yes, it could be part of your evaluation. You see that, hey guys, what you said, what you're doing here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a message.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's move a little more.
Next, this one, Steve. So Steve has been overseeing a project to implement a new wireless media streaming device for a local networking company. The team has completed all the technical work in the project. The senior management asked Steve to report on the remaining activities in the project. Which one of the following will Steve report as the remaining work? So now the options are completion of lessons learned, validation of project scope, completion of quality management plan, and completion of risk response planning. So C and D straight away were out. So I determined that team has completed, the word here is the team has completed all the technical work in the project. So I thought, I don't know whether it has been accepted or not. So that's why I've selected B, validation of the project scope, as the one of the remaining work. But the answer is completion of lessons learned. In what context I should think this question? I was like, I was confused in this.
Little process-oriented question. Okay, let's see this. Okay. The team has completed, which means over. Asked Steve to report on the remaining activities in the project. Okay. Okay. When the team has completed all the technical work in the project, completed. Okay. Completed is looking like a keyword for me. So what was your keyword in the question? What you thought?
For me, it was the keyword, definitely. The keyword were two, completed and the remaining activities. The team has now completed all the technical work. But the question is not saying whether it has been accepted or not. And there is an option in this answer that there is a validation of the project scope, which can be a remaining activity in the project. After the completion of a work, validation of the project scope is also a part of
possible. Can you read the justification?
Yeah. So justification is the lessons learned are usually done once the work is completed in the project. The quality management plan and risk response plan are created during planning process group. The validate scope process is done not during closing, but in the monitoring and controlling process. So in the, as per the explanation, they are saying that the team has completed all the technical work, including the acceptance as well. So I thought this is a process like monitoring and controlling process, but the justification says it is a closing process.
Okay, I know this is kind of a more process-oriented question. You should not get such process questions in exams. But one thing, when they use the word completed, it is not something without validation. When a team does the work and something is called as completed, which means it covers a portion of verification against what they are expected to do. So that is why I keep pressing the word completed. So now the senior management is asking the remaining work. I will not able to go and tell them that my team has done some work, but we are able to test and verify it. Those are the remaining work. And I'm sure the management will ask the question, so what do you mean by then completed? And then what do you mean by your team has to test it? Do you have two definitions for that word? And I have to tell my senior management, no, both are same term. Whenever you come to me, when you say completed, please come only when it's verified. If not, don't call yourself as completed. Call it as in progress. Isn't it? So this is not the word I can give to my senior manager, right? So our team, Ramesh, Suresh, Ganesh, done it, but they didn't test it. Then they'll say, come on, guys, give me a last word. So I'm just giving a thought for you. This is for predictive and adaptive model. But again, in the books of management, whenever something is called as completed, it is a quality checked by your organization. That's called quality control. And again, there could be a validation happened along with the customer as well. It's called UAT, user acceptance testing. This both should be done. I'm sure some more information could have been given, will be a little more clear. The wordings are not more clear. They've missed it. But completed all the technical work, I took it literally that something has been over. I'm seeing that perspective. So
here the word technical work completed all the technical work.
Yeah.
So I thought only the technical work is completed. Now the validation of the project scope is kind of a managerial work.
Okay, again, I'll come back. Completed in the sense it has been over, end-to-end over. And now when I say technical, I don't use the word technology. When I say technical, that's a work expected to be done and they have completed. In Agile model, we use a word called a definition of done. Right? When I say definition of done, which means the work has been completed, tested, and it has been promoted to specific servers. So when there's a package of things are over, then we call as definition of done. In fact, in definition of done, documentation also comes in. Right? Here, it didn't go for Agile, it didn't mention that. So when I say completed, I would say that it's over. And now the next stage only left over as per the answer. It could be more also. In this question, as per the answer, the only remaining is lessons learned, recording, or documentation. So validation of project scope, you can consider as part of the word inside completed. Yeah, I know it's a little tricky, but this is a little process question because the question is asking after this, what will happen? This is not the way PMI is asking recently. This is only a knowledge question for you. Don't expect as an exam question. PMI stopped asking these kind of questions like A will be over. After A, what will be next? Those kind of questions, PMI is slowly coming out of it.
Okay.
Shriram, actually, I too got the same question, but I haven't analyzed in depth what you guys are doing. What I did is, so anyways, this validation will not come in the closing stage. Definitely. So given the options, I eliminated directly the quality, risk, and project scope. Project scope will not come, the validation of project scope will not come in the, closing stage. So I went after the closing, we obviously have to go to the lessons learned. So I picked that. I have not analyzed this much.
I'm just trying to understand the difference. The purpose of doing Q&A is not finding the right answer, discussing on why not this answer. So that's what it is. Good. I do listen to your point. Validation of process or scope can happen anytime. It doesn't need to happen only end of the project. Okay, good. All right, thanks.
I have one more question, but I will take it afterwards if the time permits.
Yeah. Let's see some more other people and come back again.
Yeah.
Geeta, your screen.
Let me share my screen.
Boop, boop, boop. By the way, listeners here, is this kind of listening helps you, or you are still analyzing your questions? Because the purpose you joined here is, I would recommend you to listen such conversations or share some of the questions which you thought will be useful as a whole.
Yes, Shriram. As you said, I'm observing because since I am traveling, I'm just I have taken the mock.
Very good.
In the last I will talk to you. I mean share my screen and then talk to you. If my question anyone asks, then that's good. Otherwise, I will share in the last. Yeah.
All right, good. Let's get back to Geeta.
Yeah, this fifth question. Robert, who is the project manager, was informed by the sponsor that he must finish the project 1 week earlier than originally planned and scheduled. Knowing that Robert used a predictive approach to manage the project, which approach should Robert adapt first in order to achieve his sponsor's request? So the options are level out resources, add duration buffers, fast track the schedule, and crash the schedule. So no, I choose crash because fast tracking, I know it is parallelly working to finish it early. So I thought we have to do the project earlier than planned. So crashing would be the right choice, but it is wrong and fast tracking is right.
Yeah,
Add the
both.
schedule out and add duration buffer will not come.
Yeah, both are good choices. In this, you have to see which will not make the organization feel it heavy. Okay, you said that fast tracking, as you observed, it is parallel instead of going sequential.
Yeah.
When I say parallel, yes, it too has some consequences. The consequences could be when certain things should be done after A, B should be done. If I'm going to do it parallel, there'll be some quality related problems, some resource alignment problems can happen. Whereas crashing is a straight away on the track, starts with adding people. You see, fast tracking is a way of understanding alternatively, can we do something? Instead of doing two things one by one, can I do two things somewhere we can overlap and plan it so that we can go faster? This is one of the alternative way without costing more money, without bringing high risk. We try something here. Crashing is straight on the line. You say that I need another 5 people or 5 material or equipment, buy from the market. Now, when these people are coming, not only money problem, since new people are coming into the system, they may introduce some new risk which you not anticipated, for which crash is not bad, but it is a little more expensive and heavy than fast tracking. That's a point.
Okay, but fast tracking also we are adding the people, right, to work parallelly?
Not necessarily. There could be some people who are working in a non-critical path can be used in this area.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Even crashing, you can do the same, not denying that, but crashing is something directly opening the invoice and say that I need another 5 people. Whereas fast tracking, you may see some people who can do more than what they are capable of doing. Or you may find some people are a non-critical path who's not having heavy load now. I can utilize them here. Something I will do, some automation I will bring in, something which can, it's not always money, okay? Crashing and fast tracking, don't think only from money perspective. There are some risk involved also by bringing new people, which will be a little less in fast tracking.
So you mean crashing the schedule brings more risk than fast tracking?
Little bit, keep it as maybe 5% higher than this.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Right, that's a we see, but not both are not super good, both are not super bad. It's used as an technique only when there is a situation.
Okay. So I have one more question.
Sure.
Yes, here 29th question. Lara is managing a luxury residency project. Before proceeding with the site excavation process, a government clearance must be issued. What kind of dependency is this? So the answers are discretionary dependency, external dependency, optional, and soft logic. Straight away, optional and soft logic will go away. So the discussion is between external and discretionary. I applied here the salience model, which for legitimacy, this discretionary dependency will become, right? Urgency, legitimacy, and
Why salience comes here?
once I see this discretionary and the government excavation legitimacy,
You
I
thought that,
just
okay. I like the way you're thinking. See, Lara is managing a luxury residency project. Okay, nice. She could be a manager. Before proceeding with the site excavation process, a government clearance must be issued. What kind of dependency? So, by the way, in dependency, we have seen few dependency: mandatory, discretionary, internal, external. You remember these 4 dependencies?
yeah.
Right. So, in these 4 dependencies, what will happen is one of the dependency will be which is not in the control of the project, something like external dependency, or you call it as the dependency which is totally away from you. See, mandatory is something after A, only B will come in. After A activity is completed, then we'll go for B. Or there is something mandatory, you have to wait for external suppliers to give something to you. Okay. So now here, before proceeding with the site excavation process, which means they're telling that one of the activity of your project has a dependency of a clearance from the government, which means you are having some external party who has to approve it, then only you can start your excavation process. Whereas you have to understand that discretionary. Let's go with discretionary. Discretionary is your company's way of working. In the sense, your company could have done it 2 days before, but still your company introduced that dependency, saying that in my company, anything you do will pass through finance department approval, and then only will do the work. That could have been avoided, but your company's style of working, your company's way of working, I took the word company here, it can go to your project also. In your project or in your organization model of project, any work, they will do this model of, this is the way they do. When I say this is the way, it's a discretionary. You introduce something which could have been avoided, stopped, but that's the style your company follows. So discretionary is we are introducing something. Whereas external dependencies, you don't introduce, that's the way life is. One of your work is depending on something outside the control of the project.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it is. Anything in the justification? Can you read the justification?
Yeah, external dependency is defined as the relationship between project activities and non-project activities. Such dependency involves things that are beyond the control of the project team, but should be reflected in the project schedule. Example of external dependency include getting approval from an external organization before starting the project activity.
Makes sense. Yeah. But I know you're seeing this salience model. In salience model also we have discretionary, that is about the stakeholders level of influence in the project.
Yeah.
I like that what you said, but that's on the people, their influence. What you're seeing here is on the activity as a whole. Here it's not people. One particular activity of a project has some sort of dependency. So this is an activity.
Yes, I got it now.
Yeah. Right, perfect, good.
Thank you.
All right, that's good. And let's see if you have any questions, Geeta?
No, Shriram.
No, good. All right, so let's see if anyone else have a question here.
A lot of doubts in this, mathematical questions, but I'm believing that tough mathematical questions will not come to PM.
I can make you a little more happy. No math questions.
But recently you also said no that few maths questions are coming.
Not few, only one. What?
Okay.
After 2 years, now only PMI open the eyes. Let's ask one question. So they're asking one question, that is PERT calculation. What is PERT calculation? You remember it?
Yeah, that estimation analogous. No, sorry.
Okay. Let's ask people. Let's see how much people are aware of it. What is PERT? Do anyone aware of it?
Yes, it's about calculating the most likely, optimistic, and realistic. So you're taking a deviation of all the 3 together, a standard deviation of
beta estimation, standard deviation.
Okay, thanks a lot. It comes in schedule management and cost management. We use a method there for calculating how long a work will take to complete, how much of money needed to complete a work. For both, we can use this. This is called program evaluation and review technique. PERT stands for program evaluation review technique. It's part of MBA. If somebody on MBA will see that. Here we use 3 parameters: optimistic, pessimistic, most likely. So how pessimistic somebody on the calculation, how optimistic somebody on a calculation, and the center you have most likely. In exam, we're asking this question. If you read the books or if you observe the class, in PERT, we have 2 formulas. One is on the triangular distribution. One is on the beta distribution. It is available in your Rita book also. Also in the class video also it's there. If you can listen, you will get it. This question, mandatorily 1 question coming there. So you know that 1 is going to come in PERT. They may give 3 numbers, or for confusion, they'll add some flavor. You have to work it out and make a calculation.
But
so that
they will
also
not
reason.
to work it out, no? Or
I'm sorry, what is it?
they will not allow the paper or anything, Excel sheet or to
Not
work.
needed. Not needed. Coming from India, do you need a paper to do a calculation? We
No,
go
it
to
was-
grocery stores, from brain, you will calculate how much we brought for here, this, right?
Frankly speaking, history, I feel that personally, if there was more of mathematical questions, at least you have a definitive answer. And
Yes,
there's
that's
so many other questions
That's
you
true.
are, battling between 2 options. So
That's
rather
true.
mathematical questions, I feel you are more confident in scoring.
I agree with you, because for me, I remember 18 or 22 math question came in
Yeah.
exam. Those days, I'm talking 6 years back.
Yeah.
But only thing is formula you have to remember. In EVM calculation, there will be a 3 or 4 variety of formulas.
Right.
Little crazy there. Some people are allergic with formula, they will not go for it.
Yeah.
So what we do in those days is they'll give a paper to us. In the paper, we will write the formula before the exam starts. I have to write the formula in the paper. Then the exam starts. I'll see the formula and do the calculation. I'm talking years back. Now everything got changed.
I
All
did
right,
in
guys.
M-
Yeah,
the
Geeta.
same
So
thing.
now no more math questions. If it comes from PERT, but read EVM calculation, because there they talk about CPI and SPI. What CPI, SPI stands for?
Cost performance index and schedule performance index.
Performance index. Some of us are new to the classes here. You may not know that. It talks about performance index, which means how a project is progressing. If I give $1 to this team, how much they're giving back? If a 1:1 ratio index means, if I give $1, this team is giving $1 back, which is a good progress. If I give $1, team gives me back $1.5, which is really good. They're earning more. So like this question may be some situation. They'll ask you CPI stands 0.08. What is the status of the team? You will tell, yeah, we are running behind the schedule or over budgeting. So those understanding they're asking in the exam. If not, no calculations.
Perfect.
All right, guys.
And
I think,
applying the formula is fine, but from the formula, if we derive some other formula for that given question is difficult.
I didn't get you.
If they are asking any question, if you want to apply, if you want to answer with a direct formula, that would not be a problem if we by heart the formula also.
Okay.
But from the question, we need to work out and find out the formula, right? That itself is difficult.
Not like that. Not like that. PMI is not so brutal like that. So don't worry. And they're not worried about calculation these days, because all the calculations are done by machine now. So they're not worried about it.
Fine. And one more final question, Srinam. Actually, the inputs and output, hope they will not be asking that also.
You are still reading that?
No, it is left long days back. I'm worried about it because I don't remember even a single word. What is the input and what the output is?
Those questions were asked when Sachin Tendulkar was playing cricket. You are still talking about it even after Dhoni retired. What I should say. So it's all years back. It's all gone. There is no tools, techniques. Even today, Pratik brought a question which was on the process. The answer was asking what will happen after this, after that. I don't see PMI is asking those. PMI is not interested on process at all. They are not interested on what is in the book itself. Many people who complete the exam and come back and say, I understood after writing the exam, book reading is just understanding the concepts. Shucks, man, I spent too much of time reading line by line. This is what I say in the classes. Exams, if you go and do it and come back, it is about the common sense question. Common sense of in a company, how a project should work. What all the questions. That's how the question will be. The books, all you read, they will not ask anything from the line by line. They will only see conceptually or aware of it. Even if you read one time with the resource management chapter, you got the grip of what they're trying to say, enough. You have to get the grip of the concept. You have to get the keywords. For this keywords, you can read in the glossary. In the glossary, you have all the keywords.
Yeah.
Many people listen the class. There are some guys who listen only the class, take some notes, read that notes, practice question, clear the exam. So that's also there. So after writing exam, they feel that, shakes, man, I spent 3 months reading the book. Why I ask people to read is there are some people who don't know management very well. They are not part of the managers. So I cannot see everyone on the equal level. So the expectation here is understand the concept. Don't try to too much read a line by line. That's not needed.
Yes, Srinath. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
great. All right. So let's hit one more question with the Pratik. If no one has a question, then we'll close the session. Pratik, you have a question? If you're still there, you are on mute.
I'll just share the screen.
Yeah, please. Meantime, if anyone have a question, please put your hands up. Yes, Pratik, go ahead.
Are you able to see?
Yes, please.
So the question is, you have just completed a critical data center project. The question is bit easy, but the keywords here had impacted my like thought process.
Let's read. Let's read
so the question is, you just completed a critical data center project for your organization. Currently, the support team is conducting ongoing operations and maintenance to ensure that all the routers, switches, firewalls, PCs, servers, and digital storages are operating as planned. A large portion of your project budget is allocated to maintenance and operations to run the data center smoothly. You will be sending out daily status updates and resolving the issues, but there is no need for planning or providing documentation. This ongoing operation and maintenance is extremely important to the products of your data center project and should be considered as option A, not a part of your project, an entirely separate project, separate phase in your project cycle, and activities in the closing process group. So when I attempted the question first, my first my first view was not a part of my project. Okay. But then again, I analyzed the question, whether I took less time to analyze it. So again, I analyzed the question. I read the critical words, like one of the critical word was, I've just completed the critical data center project. That's it. That was the critical. But afterwards, the main words were, a large portion of your project budget is allocated, is one of the word. And again, you will be sending out daily status updates and resolving the issues as well. So I was like, if this is not a part of my project, then like how I'll be responsible for sending out the daily status update and resolving the issues as well. Along with that, I was confused whether my project budget also includes the maintenance and operation as well, or is the only till the project completion. So because of that, I selected a separate phase in your project cycle. And
separate phase and a cycle. Okay.
And actually the answer was the not a part of your project. So my here query is whether, like, after completion of a project, even in the operational activity, a project manager is responsible, and does the project budget include that this operation cost as well?
Not a manager is involved. There is something called product life cycle. When I say product life cycle, when a product is getting launched in the market, it is a new project, and then we have some enhancements on the project. After a few years of enhancements, it will turn to go to a declining stage. One day it will disappear. That's a whole life cycle. The life cycle is introduction, growth, maturity, decline. That's a 4 stages. Okay. The moment you introduce, you have to introduce, the moment the product is introduced in the market, operation team automatically comes in. They are the one who maintain behind the screen. So now they're saying data center project. Data center is, if somebody not aware of it, it's machines, computers, which has all your up and down of information. So now they clearly mentioned in the second sentence, currently the support team is conducting ongoing operations. Support team, that itself, it's gone out of the hands of project manager. From that term itself, you'll get it that it's not in your hands, it's gone. right? Ensure that all routers, switches, that everything is working. A large portion of your project budget is allocated to maintain and operations to run the data center smoothly. So now the whole process of running this is being controlled by a different team, and they are handling it up and down. So the first sentence when you read, you just completed a critical center project for your organization. The moment you say completed, your role is over. You're out there. And the rest of the things goes there. I know there is one word, a large portion of your project budget is allocated. It goes to the maintenance operations. Now what happens is usually when they talk with the contractors, they say that it's a 3 billion project. Amazon, you're reaching Amazon for your bank and you say that I want to come up with a data center, which should be in somewhere in the US or somewhere in Mumbai. Now they say 3 billion. In 3 billion, only 2 billion will go for the new development. And 1 billion would be set for operational works, which has to be maintained for next 3 years of time. So Amazon will take a responsibility. The next 2 years, we will take charge of all the switches and factors within this budget. In the contract, they will sign like that. Then the contract, they will not sign telling that, guys, we will do only the work. After work, somebody has to run it, right? You have to maintain it. Even today, I believe that's applicable in India. When you buy a new apartment, the operation cost also involved into that. When you buy a new apartment, they get you 10 lakhs extra for you, saying that next 3 years we'll maintain it. So your whole project is you do the work, and then the support team comes into picture, and the support team will do the work. For that, you are talking about the money given to the sponsor or somebody. That's a message they want to convey there. Through this question, what PMI would try to understand from you is, are you getting a grip that once a project is over, that is launched in the market, the rest of things could become an operational work or maintenance work, which is not part of the project. They want to try that from you. Now, are you getting a feel that the moment when you say it's over and the support team comes in, it is not part of the project? Yeah. Tomorrow, now let me put a little addition on this question. Tomorrow in the data center, they want to expand the ability or capability. Initially, now imagine it's supporting some, let's say 120 is a number I'm telling. They want to expand it to 240. Now expanding 240 is operational, or it will become a project?
No, definitely. If it is the same thing we are doing, then can it be an operational if it is nothing unique?
No, still it is a project because it's new. You're going to add. For Amazon, this bank has taken something in Amazon for 120. I'm not telling what unit it is. I'm telling just 120. And after 3 years of utilization, bank expansion is going higher. They want to make the data center a little broader. They want to make it 240. Now again, the same project team or different project team will go to Amazon and talk to them, guys, we want to expand it. Now again, further budget will be allocated. Another 1 billion will be allocated. This 1 billion would be you to expand it to 240. And again, now they introduce operation team for that expansion also. So when a contract getting signed, they will have these two things in mind. And this is called product life cycle. When you say product life cycle, you will not tell I will launch and run away. Launching plus you have to take care of things.
So, but in this operational activity here, they have told that PM is also included by sending out daily reports and resolving issues.
No, project manager not need to be there.
Actually,
if in case company insisted, yes, maybe sometime they call us cooling period. Cooling period will be 3 months of time because the manager and his team are aware of what they did. So for this cooling period, you will stay with the team for a while to give some bug fix issues, fixing. 1-2 guy will be there. Once the cooling period is over, they'll go out of the system and only the team will handle it. Maybe that portion, maybe you can stay there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. All right. I see 2 more hands there. Let's quickly talk to them. Ramaraju.
Hi, Shri. Good evening.
Good evening.
So I will share my screen. It is actually from the full mark.
Please.
Okay. Actually, initially, I thought the same question is repeated 2 times. So question number 97 and 98. Later, I identified the difference, but answers are same. I have a little confusion. So shall I read first question?
Yeah, please.
So Your project team has recently completed the third iteration on the project. So far, 45 story points have been successfully delivered to the customer. For this project, the iteration size is fixed at 3 weeks. The team, six team members team is dedicated to working 5 days per week. Looking at the backlog, you have 150 story points remain to be delivered. How many more weeks are required to complete the project? I think I selected, I forgot that what answer I selected. I think 10 I selected. In the next question.
Wait. No, but before we go to next question, this question. By the way, are you working in agile environment?
No.
Okay. So how do you calculate? By the way, what is the number 45 there in the screen?
So 45 story points. So total 3 iterations. So per iteration average 15 story points have been completed.
Okay.
Okay. In that case, 30 is 30.
You're keeping 15 as average. Okay.
So 150 points are pending. So average 15 story point means 10 iterations, which comes to 30 weeks.
So per iteration, how many weeks you're going?
3 weeks.
Because the question says 3 weeks per iteration.
Yes.
Okay.
In this way, I have calculated.
Okay.
But the next immediate question is almost same except this one. So my first question, maybe if answers are right, I didn't understand how I can.
This is a wrong question. You cannot have this numbers and then asking what is the project life cycle time. And okay, or we'll put it this way. More than saying a wrong question, I'll see in this perspective. When I say like cycle time, as per you, before you even go to agile, what is cycle time for you? First, what is your understanding of cycle time?
Yes. So my understanding of, in terms of product life cycle and project cycle time, I have understanding. But here I have a question. Actually, I confused with this one in this context.
Okay. What is the confusion?
So when you see product life cycle and project life cycle, project means initiation, execution, testing and closing. Product means again I forgot the names.
Introduction, growth, maturity, decline. Right. That life cycle is pretty hard to tell because that life cycle can go 2 years, 20 years, or 100 years.
Yes.
That's a long life cycle. Whenever they ask for a project life cycle, it is a project's start and end time, the whole life cycle. Okay.
Yes.
Why I thought this question would be tricky and could be even wrong sometimes is because I didn't find the word talking about what is the overall project thing. But later I'm seeing that. Can you read the question again?
Your project team has recently completed third iteration on the project. So far, 45 story points have been successfully delivered to the customer. For this project, the iteration size is fixed at 3 weeks, dedicated to working 5 days per week. Looking at the backlog, you have 150 story points remaining to be delivered.
Right. Now, first I thought it could be wrong, but now I get a feel that if I say a project life cycle, do I need to, the previous question you estimated for how long it will take to complete for 150? Okay.
Yes.
Now, 150 plus 45, is this your overall project at present, the size?
Yes. Story points 195.
Okay. So now if 150 plus 45 could tell you this is what you're going to do on a whole cycle?
Yeah, I thought in that way also. If I calculate like in the previous question, 195 by 15 is the calculation I should do.
On an average.
Yes.
Okay.
In that way also, I'm not finding the number because more than 30 it will take, right?
Okay. So what it comes 195 by 15. What's coming up for you?
33.
13 into again 3 weeks per this one, 39 it will come.
But the problem here is where I thought a little wrong with this question is, I can see only the number, but it doesn't tell about the unit of it. Is it a month? Is it a week? That's where a little tricky there now. Right?
Yeah. Now I'm seeing that. Actually.
Yeah. The moment I saw first question, I thought could be wrong question. Concept is good. I like the concept, but the unit is not clear. You should have without unit, it's tricky. For example, if you say 13 iterations overall. So 13 iterations into 3 goes by, you will get a 39 weeks. 39 weeks divided by 4, if I put it, takes at least a 9.75 months to complete. Okay. I can even argue back 9.75 will become 10 months. I'll argue with that. But when you don't give me a unit, what unit you want to see? You want to see the unit in weeks. You see the unit in cycle time as month. There I'll be a little stuck. But if you put me in the exam hall, I would have gone to 9.75 and I'll make answer D. Okay. I will come out of the exam happily, but without knowing the unit, I would have given an answer. So that's what would happen. That's a view I'm seeing. Maybe if you see that way. But still, I'll request the team to check this. Is there any unit can be added for this? Okay.
Yeah, I have actually it is not a question. I just want to understand. I have another question in full mark only. Question is, a functional manager in your organization has recently filed a complaint against a junior project manager regarding his project management certification. The functional manager claims that the PMP certification claimed by the junior project manager is invalid and needs to be checked. What should be your response as a senior project manager? So I selected ask your functional manager to provide evidence for his argument. Honestly, I haven't reviewed the answer. Actually, the full mark I haven't reviewed. But my actual question is, so we will get these kind of question in PMP exam, and if it comes, will it come? Yeah.
I doubt this will not happen. But again, so what is your discussion?
So if that is the case, so will it fall under people's domain?
No. It comes. I have seen before. It comes, but recent days I'm not sure. This comes under PMI ethics.
Okay.
PMI ethics talks about be honest, full, responsible. That's why it is. But again, the answers, yes, I like the way you put it, because some people say the report to PMI. Without having proper evidence, reporting doesn't make any sense. At least you have some info, reporting makes sense. But again, point of it is they want to see how honest you are on your response.
That is where if I go with only that ethic and PMI guidelines, report to PMI might be correct, but internally team culture, organization culture.
No. Report to PMI, it's not directly on the ethics, because by doing this, you are not respecting the employee also. Right? See, because some functional manager said you're quickly going to report it, you are disregarding somebody's value.
Yes.
So we don't know, right? They may have some personal clash within them because of which this guy is reporting. So you will try to get more details about it. That's why they call 4 things in ethics, right? Responsibility, respect, honesty. What is the other one? Responsibility, respect, honesty.
Transparency, I guess.
No, fairness. So you as a manager, yes, you listen to them, but also you'll see what all other parameters you have to follow.
Yes. So,
all right, good.
Yeah. If time permits, I have small issue with the questioning thing. I'm seeing some of the questions. See, company B and A. I'm seeing a lot of small letters. So sometimes, because I am not an English medium guy, so sometimes while reading, it is giving some
makes sense.
confusion. So my question is: this the way in PMI also it will be like this?
That is not sure, because we didn't see on the exam hall right now. But it will be nice if it is caps letter. I go with you. Please, what you do is, I know there will be few questions like this. We can fix that. You can pass this question to support at ShriLearning or Rahul. We'll straight away fix it.
Okay. Thank you.
Ideally, we have to have a cap letter. It'll be easy for you.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Please copy and pass it to support at ShriLearning.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
All right, good work. And please evaluate all the questions. That'll be useful.
Sure, sure.
All right, let's go to Abdul Rahman.
Hello, Shri. Hi. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'm just sharing my screen.
Yeah, please.
Shri, I'm not able to. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
you have
okay.
to-
1 minute.
Load it.
Yeah. Okay, you're able to see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Actually, this is the question, Sri. Like, the 13th question is upon risk identification as the project manager, Stan decides to transfer the risk to another party. Which of the following can be the result of Stan's risk transfer response? I've chosen this one, the option C, policies and procedures. But buying insurance is the right answer. So I don't know where the context comes for buying the insurance with respect to the question. So I'm a bit confused on that.
Very good. And have you read the risk chapter by any chance?
No, I'm part of a April batch. So I've just completed framework and stakeholder.
Nice. Then you may not went through that. In risk management chapter or any risk management project management world, few terms are there called as mitigating the risk, avoiding the risk, transferring the risk, accepting the risk. Whenever you say something called transferring the risk, which means we know this risk would happen. If it happens, we cannot mitigate it, which means you cannot solve it. You cannot avoid it, which means the risk would happen. There is one way we can transfer it to different party who can handle for us. That is called insurance. One of the example. For example, we have our car. Yeah, we can mitigate, we can avoid, but still there are chances some scratches can happen. So what do? You buy a car insurance. Now go back to the question. Upon risk identification, as a project manager, Stan decides to transfer the risk to another party. Your car needs insurance by transferring that risk to another party. That's a strategy. Which of the following can be the result of risk transfer response? In this risk transfer response, one of the option is to insurance, buying an insurance. In other cases, it could be that a different company can do a job for you. That also can be a transfer. So this is purely on the knowledge of project management. Once you understand the knowledge of management, where these terms are used for transferring the risk.
Okay. It doesn't say anything about the personal scenario, like buying an insurance. It is whole, the question itself is a project context. So I didn't even think of the buying of insurance actually.
Why not? Yeah, project also can buy insurance. What stops us? See, point is transfer means you should understand the logic behind transfer. Transfer means it's not we handle it. We give it to a different party. That's a message there.
Okay.
May I understand why you thought policy and procedure?
No, I thought, okay, it's just a guess actually. I didn't
Yes,
even, yeah.
Okay. When you come to the class, you will start understanding those contexts. But for now, understand transfer means giving to another person. In this answers, you have only choice called buying insurance.
Okay. The second question, Sri, it's 1 minute. Yeah, 32. Actually, this question I have guessed it. Actually, somehow it made it correct. I don't, it. I mean, it's not a justified answer. So it comes under which topic?
Let's try. Go ahead. Read it. Let me try.
4 months into a software development project, the project sponsor requests a definitive estimate of when the project will be completed. The most likely estimated duration is 20 days. Which of the following duration estimates will you give to your sponsors?
Okay. So what is the formula you have to apply here?
Honestly, I don't know what is the formula. I just
Okay.
had the near to the like
Okay.
near to the days, estimated days. I have keeping the buffer or so. I've just
Understood. Understood.
taken, yeah,
Let's read the justification if it helps us. Go down.
50 days.
Okay.
It's separating as the accuracy of
So,
a definitive estimate.
First, you are
Yeah.
aware. First, are you aware that there is something called estimation, which is called a definitive estimation, a rough order estimation? Are you aware of it?
No.
Okay, then we have to see that in the classes.
Okay. And very soon, last 1 minute, the question 37.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, after 3 agile iterations showed a trend of increasingly prolonged test work, the team performed an intensive backlog refinement. What metrics would show the problem was effectively addressed? Okay, so it talks about the prolonged test work for a particular after 3 agile iterations. Okay, so like I thought maybe the test work it may be impacted because of some issue and the resolution of the impediment. The how fast, because as soon as the impediment resolves, the we can work on that and do the test work, right? So I thought this would be the choice, but the right choice is stories completed per iteration.
Okay. Are you working in agile environment?
Yes, I work in agile environment.
Very good. Very good. So what is an impediment for an agile team?
Impediment is a blocker.
Blocker could be of what? A technical?
Yeah, maybe a defect or any something like an issue, environment issue, or something which is hampering the productivity of the
Right. Something could be blocking, could be the system not available, could be not understood the clarity of it. Okay. So now, speed of impediment resolution. Impediment resolution is so depending on the subject context, what kind of impediment it is. Now, after 3 agile iterations showed a trend of increasing prolonged test work. Prolonged test work means you're doing testing, but it is going beyond the time what you're thinking. Your work could have been usually a user story should be completed in 1 iteration. But when you see prolonged test work, it is either completing or not completing in 1 sprint. That's a message there. Prolonged test work. Now the team performed an intensive backlog refinement. So are you aware of backlog refinement?
Yes.
Okay. What they do in backlog refinement?
Like it's kind of a grooming, actually. We call it as a grooming. We add some additional inputs to make the stories mature.
Right. So you refine the upcoming work with more clarity. You talk about acceptance criteria. You see the depth of the work and breadth of the work clearly. When you do this, what can happen is we are very clear how big a user story is. Is it possible to do in 1 sprint, or it will need more sprints? You may even split the user stories.
Absolutely.
By doing refinement, what we're doing is you are reducing the chances of something getting prolonged. You are reducing the chances of even impediments. Your answer B will be a subset of C, which means you are clear with your blockers and impediments. It can happen, but you're pretty clear than before. So intention of this question is they want to see or understand, is this something we were able to address some of the things which is getting dragged? Usually in agile team, something is dragged means the clarity is not there. When the clarity is not there, definitely impediments, blockers will come. But the point is they're trying to address the exact point of where you will solve the problem. You will solve the problem through refinement. And whenever a story is getting completed, which means you know the definition of done. You're aware of definition of done, right?
Yeah.
So definition of done is, which means it's been developed, tested, documented, promoted, which means you have addressed all your impediments also. Whenever a story is getting properly completed, it's a good metrics to say that my team is in a right shape. That's a message. Let's see the last explanation. Go to the explanation. Read it out.
The refinement results in smaller, less complex stories, which allows the team to complete them faster.
Okay. So impediment resolution could be any impediment. technical, non-technical, but that will not, it's not a metrics to you. Whereas a story is completing, velocity is going in the right way, it's a metrics. When you have a stories completed metrics, implicitly it also says impediments are getting resolved. It's a subset. B is a subset of C.
Okay.
Got that?
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. And
All
one more
right.
concerning factor is that it's been
Mhm.
2 weeks actually. I'm taking up the mock test, and the 40 questions so far have handled is somewhere close to 40 minutes. Sorry, 40 to 50 minutes. I think the overall time what you have given for the mock test is total 80 questions, which is for the normal and the agile. Correct? So the expectation
Either
is
of
to
one.
complete both either of.
Either of one. Either of one.
Okay.
Either of one. We have some people who come from PMI ACP. For them, we kept it. Going forward, we'll plan accordingly. So we'll have only PMP people. Okay.
Okay.
So that confusion will not happen.
Okay. Could you please elaborate the 90, 70, 70? So 90 minutes, how much question is targeted for the 90 minutes?
It's a recommendation for a full
Okay.
exam. Have your time like 90, 70, and 70 divided. So
Okay.
first 60 questions you can plan for 90 minutes.
Okay.
And then second 60 for 70 minutes. And third 60 for again another 70 minutes.
Okay.
Right. With this all after 60 questions, please take 10 minutes break. That's useful for you.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Perfect. All right, good.
Hello.
I could see some
Hello,
interesting
Shri.
questions today. Hey, hi. Who's that?
This is Gopinath.
Gopinath. Please, Gopinath, go ahead.
Shri, I have my main exam on Thursday, 27th of April.
Mm-hmm.
So I have done with 4 full marks.
Okay.
But scores are, I think, 47 first mark I have achieved, and 62 is the highest in the 4th mark.
Are we in the chat? Are we discussing in the chat, WhatsApp sometime?
No.
Okay. 27th exam. When you started your full exams?
26th of March I have started first mark.
Oh, all right. Do one thing. Can you share your scores in the WhatsApp with me? So I'll take a look and let you know.
Sure.
What was the last full exam score?
62.
62. Okay. Time management?
Yeah, I couldn't be able to complete. So time management, okay.
Good. You're following 90, 70, 70 kind of rule.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And
I have taken
are you working? Are you working in agile environment by any chance?
No, Shri. So
have you completed reading Agile Practice Get book?
Yeah, I have read about 3 times.
Okay, then Agile is not a worry for you. So when you did a gap analysis, what area you're losing a lot of mark?
Yeah, Agile situational questions I am
losing the mark.
Can't able to score. Yeah.
Okay. Are you part of a PMI or Agile WhatsApp group where they share every day 10 questions?
Yeah. I'm part of that. I'm going through those questions.
Yeah. So you can improve there, but you have only 5 days with you. Ooh. So why you thought not to share with me in the WhatsApp?
Already I have discussed it with you before. You asked me to complete 2 more marks. At the time I have completed only 2 marks.
Okay.
So the thing is, the delaying also I couldn't get any much benefit. That's why I booked the schedule.
Yeah. I'm with you on this. But the point is, a little more tuning will help us. It's okay. We'll work it out now. What I do is, I'll recommend you to stop with full exams, and I'll give some bullet points for you to work it out. Let's do that towards the main exam. Message me in the WhatsApp. I'll connect back post session today. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
We'll make it happen. And are you taking any leave from your work?
Yeah. Next 3 days, I will take off.
Yeah, please take off because you need some focus.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All right, good. Any other questions?
Sriram, just one question. I didn't want to interrupt you earlier. You did mention when we were discussing about inputs, techniques, and the outputs, right? However, in most of these chapter-wise exams, or the practice exams that I was taking, I still did notice a lot of questions revolving around the inputs or the techniques or the outputs mostly. And initially, I did not give that much importance. I just had a read through the book. But then when I started getting questions like that, over this week, I kept going back to the book and trying to understand these input tools and techniques just to, ensure that I get good percentage and crack those practice exams. So still having a little confusion of, is that what is expected in the actual PMP exam? Or, yeah.
When you do a simulation exam, there are questions which is for the knowledge purpose, some are for exam purpose.
Okay.
So some questions will have to check our knowledge, because there are people who are yet to get the grip of the base of the subject.
Okay.
So these questions you can consider as a knowledge question, which helps you. And again, if you see questions not in the process, tools and techniques, that's purely on the testing of the ability of subject. So take these questions as a knowledge question.
Okay. All right.
That's how it is, because there are some beginners also, right?
Yes.
There are people who join, they just started with a chapter, they want to understand how things work. For them, we need as a knowledge question.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Don't be so much into chapter. Chapter test is to learn some knowledge. Once you feel little comfortable there, 2-3 times you have to do, then you have to go for the full exams.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Little enough, then go to full will be useful for you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Thanks all for being here, and nice talking to you all. If no more questions, any other questions? Hey, Anand.
Yeah, Anand here. Actually, thanks. I received your message about that. There was some gap in the reading. Today I take the full mock.
Okay.
Got some of 56, 100 correct answers, and out of 180.
180.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
as I message, I will read this Agile now. Agile till to complete actually.
Yeah,
but
please do that. And also see, I think I gave some bullet points to you. What are your analyze? No? If not, I would request you to go through the questions, see where you are lagging on kind of your reading ability. Primarily, I see many people struggle because of reading ability. They lose the rhythm of reading the questions. After answering 60 questions, they lose the rhythm. See if your answering ability is bad between 60 to 120 question or 60 to 150 question. So try to take a break there and see if you can read carefully for 100 questions, 150 questions. That will improve your score.
Yeah, very true. Today it happened after 65 question number 65 up to 110. Some of there was energy loss and reading was very slow.
Understood. It happens. Plan your main exam properly. As I used to say, that take a good sufficient food and a good rest. Don't do the exam mid in the night, or when you're tired, don't do it. Don't take it as a just click. No, don't do that. You have to sit properly as if you're doing a real exam. And every 60 questions, take a break. That will give some energy. With the full attention, if you do, I'm sure another 15% will increase.
Yeah, but the confidence level increase actually because only on after reading Rita, I attended this exam. Agile still not read.
That's a good score. I'll say honestly, you made a good score.
Okay. Yeah.
Now do analysis and improve. You're not too bad. You're not too high. You're in the moderate range now. High chance of improving. As you committed now, you said you lost that little patience while answering. Patience is the key. In the highway, if you want to travel from one city to another city, patience is very important. So I see some people go in the car super fast, and that is not sustainable. So sustainable normal speed, like a Rahul Dravid, you have to play sustainable pace.
Very true. Very true. For 4 hours sit and read and answer. Rahul Dravid is the best example you have given.
See, I see people in the highway when I drive cars, they go super fast after half an hour, I'll see these guys are smoking somewhere and taking tea because they're high pressure. When you try high speed, you get a high pressure, you have to smoke, drink, do something. When you go normal speed, you will beat the road. You will easily go there. So that mindset is important. That's not for exam, real life management. So that is how we have to go constant pace. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
All right, guys. Okay. I know it's time.
Yeah, Shri, actually, I know time up, but one burning question, should I contact you on WhatsApp for that? One like from the last full mock, I had that question. So if the time is not permitting, should I contact you on WhatsApp regarding that?
Yeah, I'll see that and get back to you. I should
No
get
issues.
for the next classes now. I'll get
No,
back to
yeah,
you.
yeah, I understand. No issue.
Yeah.
No issue. Done. Thank you.
Good. Amazing. I see all the effort happening here. Thanks a lot for joining here. It takes really great effort on a Saturday, sitting and writing exam, analyzing. That too, for the people on the April batch, you have to analyze a paper. Now you have to get for the classes. Really great efforts. All this hard work will pay you back. So thanks for putting the efforts here. Catch you all in the next session. Until then, have a great time. See you soon. Bye-bye.